Uh-oh, Comicsgate. I don't feel so good. After yesterday's admission by Art T. Bear that Comicsgate is failing because of the recent bad antics of Ethan Van Sciver, Shane Davis, and John Malin, who have all gone out and tried to just cancel anybody on the right, cancel conservative Christians who have been trying to, of course, work hard in comics. Anybody who actually performs, who does well, who's successful, who has comics that are worth reading. These guys just trash because they know they can't compete in an environment where there are people actually producing good works. So they don't want to highlight those. These guys only want to just highlight their own weird little stuff that they don't produce, don't come out with. And it's hurting everybody at this juncture. So yesterday, RT Bear was the first, like, kind of the guys who who kind of have been on the periphery. These guys have been quiet for years. They've sat on the CG Kings, where Ethan Van Sciver used them basically to give him some credibility because I'm surrounded with former Marvel and DC professionals, using that like credentialism that the mainstream industry is based on, that gatekeeps the mainstream industry. That's how the weird transgender people at DC Comics keep getting jobs. Oh, I'm at Marvel and DC Comics. I'm a real creator. I saw Gail Simone posting, I finally got to write an X-Men character that I've always wanted to. It's like, you know, if everybody just wrote their whatever character they wanted to and didn't worry about like corporate anything, then we wouldn't have to deal with any of this, because it's that mentality that Marvel's real, that DC's real, that has been propagated by them, by the mainstream industry for decades, which has hurt the comic movement in our country. But I'm telling you to Comicsgate, because I know all of these guys watch us, including the ones kind of in the periphery, who are, a lot of them are good guys. Like Aaron Lopresti is a great guy, and we'll hear, he's voicing things. RT Bear is a great guy, and it's really sad to watch these guys have to beg for scraps from this like movement that doesn't even care about comics whatsoever. And we've seen with RT Bear how they don't care about comics, and it's been declining. And of course, everybody's declining. Aaron's seeing that. He's seeing that. Unfortunately, Graham Nolan went a little ballistic on me for calling this out. If you remember, a couple months ago, Graham Nolan actually threw shade at Chuck Dixon, his longtime collaborator, because Ethan Van Sciver just was just going crazy on him. Ethan Van Sciver called Chuck a has-been. And of course, Graham Nolan doesn't care. As long as he gets a few $1,000 from Ethan Van Sciver, he'll swear at people who say, this is not cool. Now, it's sad. I hope Graham gets back on track because, again, he's a creative guy. His books are good. He's a Catholic guy. I wish him the best. And that's always what we're doing here. If you notice the difference between our movements, we do wish these people the best. We want to stop this bad behavior that's going on. And unfortunately, it's all stemming from those three people who are they even call themselves like the Trinity of Comicsgate. They're super blasphemous. If you didn't see Ethan's comments yesterday in my video, it's crazy. So guys, build your own platforms. Build a comics movement. Let's actually be about comics first and actually be about readers first, which is what we've been doing over here. And I'm happy to report, I did a video yesterday about Liam flipping out about my my sales being, oh, he's never going to sell better than me. And Ethan Van Sciver actually admitting basically I'm selling better than everybody on his live stream, even though he was he was queued up to say I don't sell anything. We have two #1 bestsellers on Amazon right now, not one, two. Going on. One bestseller, two bestseller, one bestseller, two bestseller. I'm gloating a little bit, guys. Holy crap. I can't believe how many books we sold this weekend. It's been absolutely insane. And it's all because of cultivating a real group of readers. So I really appreciate you guys for picking these up. These are not comics. These are novels. And that's actually where I get the majority of my sales is novels. And this is going to be in the description below. I'm going to give you Justified, Saga of the Nano Templars, the first in my 3-book trilogy, guys. You're going to love this. It's like just high tea, action-packed science fiction. It's what Star Wars should have been in the sequel trilogy. You're going to love this. Thanks so much for picking this up. This is the last day of the sale, so get in on this in the description below. It's only 99 cents. And I've got a bunch of new readers because of it. How cool is that? And we're building things as a community. Like I said, I've got a Discord in the description below as well. Come join us. Say hi. I like to say hi to everybody and connect with everybody. Come hang out. It's good stuff. So we're going to get to this, which is Aaron Lopresti now has finally told off Ethan Van Sciver, saying, look, this is hurting our movement. It's hurting everything that's going on. This is not good. Your little trash cast stuff has really peeled off a bunch of sales in a bad way, and it really has. So this is them on the live stream last night. Again, you're just seeing the breaks in the armor here. You've got You got some people. Did I share the screen wrong? I did. I gotta get this in this like way where I can actually watch the video here. Okay, you can see he's got everybody on here. Sean on there, his art. Again, that guy's just an artist who just draws, and it's sad that he's caught up in this stuff, trying to scrape a few sales together. Dan Lawless he's one of those guys who rah-rahs, so I don't feel bad for him so much. You got Andy Smith, another guy who's just draws and is just caught up in this stuff, and I wish he'd get away from it. Anthony Gonzalez Clark's a wonderful guy and a wonderful artist. I'm sad he's caught up in this. Aaron Lopresti, always been sad he's caught up in this. Very sad stuff. And I'm not sure who a couple of the others are here. I know who Eric Weathers is, of course, and you got Billy Tucci at the bottom. I don't even know why Billy Tucci's entertaining this stuff because he does sell all by himself. And as a Catholic and Christian, being around these guys who just mock Christianity all the time, and of course attack other indie comic creators all the time, not good for his brand. But I hope he gets away from that. Billy Tucci's got it all going by himself. There's no reason for him to sit on these streams like this. And here's what Aaron Lopresti says. It is just finally people are starting to speak out, and they've been afraid. These guys are scared because they know. And there's been a couple of these guys who have talked to me in private, and they're like, look, if Ethan like gets any wind of anything that's even like slightly critical, it's scary. I could lose my entire retirement, right? Because he will cancel them really, really hard. And this is what he does. And so he finally speaking out about this deal. It's a big deal with RT Bear saying this yesterday, with this today. I really think we're starting to see a sea change here, which is a good thing. I mean, people are finally coming over to the spots where, you can actually read books because we put them out. It's good stuff. And I appreciate you guys. 2 bestsellers. That's right. Oh, so good. Comicsgate's mad.
I forgive Mike. As a Christian, I have to.
Oh my God.
I have to forgive Mike. So I do. Every day I forgive him.
I don't really understand any of this because, I get why you do Trashcast because it's monetarily advantageous for you to do it. And I'm not saying that's the only reason you do it. I know you have other motivations, but.
Yes, he has a couple motivations. One, it's the super chats, of course. Number 2, it's the fact that like somebody else has a sales that are bigger than his without his permission. And he wants to control this whole like corner of indie comics by himself so that he can play kingmaker and be this like mafiosa godfather person. He's got a weird, sick, narcissistic way at looking at this stuff. And that's a large part of it. And if people like Aaron Lopresti, who's talking right now, who's about to actually criticize it, would just nope out because it's not worth a few $1,000 just to like be a part of this and sell your soul. This would collapse a lot faster and it'd be a good thing. Now we're all going to have to build right back up again. And I know Aaron's trying to. He's building his professionals network on the side. And part of that's a reaction to this so that he can kind of get away from this. And he's hoping that gets big enough that eventually he doesn't have to do this. But it's really, really tragic. And we should incentivize people to go do those types of things rather than sit on these live streams with Ethan Van Sciver attacking Eric July, attacking me, attacking smaller channels. For what? For super chats? It's just sickening.
But when you're doing stuff like this and it's not getting you anywhere, why are you doing it?
I do Trashcast because Mike.
Look at that, guys. If you're doing this stuff, it's not getting you anywhere. Why are you doing it? It's collapsing Ethan's sales. We've seen he's got no juice anymore at all. It's collapsing everybody else's sales. I mean, poor Aaron Lopresti. We'll go over his sales after we finish the clip here because Aaron's got the best books out of all these guys, to be honest. I mean, his books are really, really solid. I am a big fan of them. And it's sad to watch how it's collapsed. And it's not based on the book quality. It's not based on this. It's all just based on there's less comic book readers around this movement to see this at all. And it's terrible.
For example, Mike is doing what he's doing. And for the longest time, you turn the other cheek, but then it becomes the lies become.
And this is a giant lie. Turn the other cheek. He never turned the other. He attacked Mike off his show. He had his personal army go try to cancel Mike because Mike posted Pride is a sin on Pride Month several years ago. He had all of them go pile on him, try to brand him a homophobe and a racist and all this stuff. It was crazy to watch. And Mike didn't do anything. He was just sitting there one day and just like suddenly he's on the outs. And this is what's happened for everybody across the board. This guy's started every fight he ever said he didn't. And it's the thing is he does like hours and hours of live streams and smack talks people so much that he doesn't remember. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he even convinces himself that he didn't do it because he doesn't even remember the content from 2-3 weeks ago. How can he expect anybody else to? But when you sit there and you're watching this guy trash you on a live stream over and over and over again, and then you finally say something on X, be like, dude, you're being an asshole. And then he goes, he's hurt, and he plays victim like this. It's absolutely crazy. And I think enough people have seen it at this point where it's like this routine isn't playing anymore.
So overwhelming that it's like at some point you go, I'm going to open up my platform, which is fairly large, to answering these people,
Right.
and just pushing back. And that's what Trash House is, because I didn't never do that before. I was just going to go, all right, they're going to do their thing.
That's not true at all. The guy not only goes on his streams, but he rolls around to other people's streams to go talk smack about other creators, and has since, gosh, at least 2018. This has been constant. He makes sure that he rolls around every network of live streams possible, sits on there, talks his trash, makes sure that everybody everywhere knows that like this person needs to be canceled. And he spends his entire time doing this. This is why his books aren't out, guys. It's not just these streams every day that he's rolling on. He's sitting in people's chats, camping their chats, waiting for people to like say something about him, demanding the link to go on. I mean, it's been like this for years. And it's why you don't have your book that you paid for 4 years ago. It's really, really crazy. And of course, Aaron's being very polite and nice about this. He is pushing back, saying it's not getting us anywhere. But he should have pushed back even harder, to be honest, because it's just letting this guy go off like this is like, ugh, make me roll my eyes.
And they're going to talk nonsense.
But I mean, from Mike's standpoint, though, or anybody else's, is like they're not gaining viewership or anything for doing this, and so I'm not really sure what they're getting at.
They're not really doing anything, Aaron. That's what's happening. They're not. Mike is not opening a crowdfund or trying to sell crowdfund. He's doing stuff with his cryptocurrency and working hard on that. I've got the guy's phone number. I talk to Mike periodically. Half the time I call him, he goes, "Look, I'm working on my crypto stuff with like my investors. Can't talk right now. Talk to you later." That's what he's doing while these live streams are going on. So that's a complete lie on it. It's like, I don't know if you believe what you're saying on that front, or if you're trying to just convince Ethan that like, maybe you shouldn't fight with these people. I'm hoping it's the latter, but like, again, these guys did nothing. It's just, they got fed up after a while because he went at them so hard. It's ridiculous.
Out of it.
They're collecting disaffected friends.
Yeah.
So, I mean, imagine if like they were to turn, Bosch, and they got Bosch really, really upset at me. They showed him the right number of videos and the right combinations, and they.
And the saddest part about this is this guy kind of makes up his little narratives, and you see there's 10 people sitting on the stream. Not one of them's going to call him on it because they need him. They're waiting for him to go, okay, Shanta, what's your Indiegogo? You got 2 minutes here for a little telethon, so they might be able to pick up 5 backers. That's all this is about. And this is why everybody's so silent. And it's really, really sad to watch at. Like I said, it's just like these guys all deserve better.
Exposed my hypocrisy to Bosch. And then they'd have Bosch on their side. And fucking Bosch's career would be over. But it's like, because he'd be hanging out with them, there'd be nothing for him to do. They're all failures. But I mean, they'd have collected another bitter friend.
That is their goal. They actually mentioned it the other day. I think about Graham and also Art.
Yeah.
There was something that Comic Say Drama posted. That Art posted, and then people were reading into it.
Mm.
They were talking about how they're getting.
Yikes. Well, at least Aaron did try to call him out at the very beginning. They're not gaining anything from this. Obviously, Ethan's not gaining anything from it. He's not gaining anything from it. And that's where it's at. They are all losing audience at a rapid rate. I guess I'm gaining. I'm the only person gaining from this as I report on it. Because, look, I don't want anybody to fail. And I don't hate anybody. I just want our movement to be about books and be about comic books and be about supporting conservative and Christian creators. This is what happens when you do this, guys. When you actually come out here, you get a lot of folk just buying your books like this, and I really appreciate you guys for doing so. But look at Aaron Lopresti, like just for sitting on the live streams. At what point does it make it not worth it? If you go to Indiegogo, you can see right here, Wraith of God 3. Okay, let's look at this. 79,000. Now, remember, he has been having this open since this is the end date, right? So he's since September last year. Since September last year, he's gained another $10,000 just kind of leaving it open, and he's got about 1,000 backers total for a year worth of things. By the way, I've sold more than 1,000 books this month just doing this by myself without a live stream crew with any of this stuff. It's crazy, and this is really sad. Like I said, he's good artist. His books are great. I've got all of them, and I very much, of course, love it. And this has kind of been the slow decline. Kit Carter is a wonderful thing. I'd love to do some Kit Carter work myself. I could use this character; it'd be a lot of fun. 1,700 backers on this one, but look, it took a long time to get up to that front as well. 932 backers already in December 2023. He's seeing the decline on this right here. Now you go to Wraith of God Blood Hunters. This is before. Right? And you've got 2,500 backers. He's got 1,700 on the opening campaign, $157,000. He's lost half of his audience. Wraith of God #1, also around the 150, and he actually had more backers on this one, even though he had about the same amount of money. So again, you have lost half of your audience from these campaigns. It's gone down to half. They got what 2,600 backers at this point. He less than half. This is way less than half actually. So at 1,085 over 2,600, you're at about 40% of what your backers were. There's something wrong going on. It's very, very obvious, and shouldn't be sitting there and just like allowing this to happen to your brand because you deserve better. Like I said, these books are fantastic. He's a nice guy. He's a Christian guy. And, this is just not the place to be at this juncture. It's all falling apart, guys. And if, these kinds of comments, as much as they seem small, you don't know how just vindictive Ethan Van Sciver is. As they mentioned, Art T. Bear in the background there. Oh, they're reading into it. They're coping. And they know that Art is not going to be long for this team. And I don't think Aaron's going to be much longer for this team either. This is all starting to fall apart. Voice what you got to do to these guys because they're good people. They should be elsewhere. We should build a better comic book movement together that actually focuses on real values and not all this nonsense. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here. Big stuff over the last couple of days. Thanks for being here. Check out Justified Saga of the Unknown Templar, #1 bestseller, guys. This has been a great weekend. All thanks to readers like you. It's in the description below. Join our Discord and our community, and we'll be back.